Grand rising, powerful being. It's your host, the Holistic Motivator. And if you keep tapping in for the next few minutes, I'm going to talk to you about the secret that lies in your routine. Okay, so most people think that, if I'm going to change my life, I kind of have to do a whole bunch of new things. I got to let go of everything, and it's going to be hard to challenge. Guess what the truth is? The truth of the matter is you just have to create a new routine. You just have to make little minute decisions every day. It lies in those decisions. Your decisions that you create is creating your life. So what is your routine? Do you even have a routine? Or are you just living through? Are you just doing things? Are you just going all willingly, diggily, whatever the word that is? The secret is in your routine. If you want to transform your life, transform your routine. If you want to transform your day, transform your rising routine. If you want to transform your night, transform your nighttime routine. If you want to have a blissful day, then guess what? Transform what you do. If you intentionally think about a routine and you create one, I promise you that routine is going to create you. There's a famous quote that I say that the habits you build are also building you. And what that means is oftentimes we think that, oh, it doesn't matter what I do. I can do whatever I want, right? And you just do it. But did you know that every time you do something, you're building a habit? It's like a strand that binds your life together or binds you to the past or binds you to something that you don't even want. So really think about it. What is your routine? What is your rising routine like? What are you doing every day? Do you even have one, right? So if you don't, keep tapping in. This episode is sponsored by the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe, y'all. And if you don't know what the tribe is all about, it's an online community. It's like a support group for your holistic wellness, right? To help you create a lifestyle where you can be happy, where you can be joyful, when you can release the emotions, the stress that gets stored in your body, the tension, right? So the fear, the anger, the anxiety, all of this is can be released through the Holistic Lifestyle Tribe. When you get in it, we have a rising routine and a nighttime routine. That's why it's so effective, because you rise and you set. You rise or you set. And the beauty of it is the more you show up, the more you're hardwiring and changing your life, because you're taking forth new steps each day that's going to change everything for you. So, if you want to keep tapping into this and learn how to create a routine that's going to transform your life, keep watching. Let me ask you a question. Do you feel like you're all over the place? Like when you wake up in the rising, you you really just kind of like operating on autopilot. And what I mean by that is you just get up and you mundanely do things that you're not consciously aware of, but you done them so long that they became habitual. They became such habits that you don't even notice that you're not consciously creating this. Some of us, we go to the same job because we've always been. We do the same things because that's what we're familiar with. We see the familiar internal result because of our familiar external actions. So when we get accustomed to the internal results, we get accustomed to the external actions. Or when we get accustomed to external actions, we get accustomed to internal reactions. So what I mean is, if you drink a pack a day, guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna feel that in your body. In fact, your belly's gonna start showing it. You're gonna have a nice little beer belly there. You know what I'm saying? If you go to McDonald's every day, you probably won't have that good energy. If you go to McDonald's every day, you're not gonna have that good energy. So basically, your external actions determine your internal reactions. And part of setting a routine is to create a way of acting consistently over time rather than a way of reacting, because that's just how it always been. Has somebody said to you before, or you said this? I've always been this way. Well, duh. You've always been this way. That's a fact. But you can change it. That's usually the excuse most people come up with. I mean, they don't come up with good enough excuses. They should try a little harder. I've always been this way. Not really. What other way have you been? Okay, I know you've been this way, and I'm not making light of it. I've said it before, right? You said it before. She said it. He said it over there. The cat down right there said it. The tree said it too. Tree said, hey, I've been here before with you, Ed. So what I'm saying is we can't make the excuses if I've been there before, because if we say I've always been like this, then guess what? You'll always be like this. If you say I've always been like this, you will always be like this. So if you don't want to be like this, then don't do like that. If you don't want to be like this, then don't do you like that. So set up yourself a routine, y'all. The routine is going to change your life, because what's going to happen is you're going to build such habits that over time, the more you do them, the less time it takes to do them. So some of you may ask me, like, how are you able to do all of this? You come off the Rising Prime, you do the podcast, you're doing all these things throughout the day, and you're putting in the works. The content is going out, you're doing marketing, you're communicating with a bunch of people, you're coaching people, you're sending stuff. How are you doing all of that? The secret is I just built the routine. I'm not a superhuman. I'm a regular human being, as we all are. But I just built a routine that over time, the routine made my life so much easier. By that, I mean, I just built a routine that I did consistently. And over time, that consistency built me. So that's the secret. The secret is you do a routine consistently, and the routine consistently builds you. Then all of a sudden, you notice you're a different type of person. You have a different type of glow. I just posted an Instagram a picture on Instagram. I said, I'm grateful for the person I'm becoming. Why? Because I saw my face in that picture, and it wasn't like that 2 years ago. It wasn't like that 3 years ago. My face in that picture I posted 2 years ago, you could see the stress, you could see the anguish, you could see so much pain and traumas. But now there's a different glow. Why? Simply because of the routines, right? Simply because I took out time to prime my rising, right? I don't just wake up and do anything. I wake up and have rituals and practices and things that I do. I breathe, I journal. I sit down and sense what's happening within me and massage them out. I do certain things so life doesn't do me. So I want to ask you, it isn't that complicated. You just have to make a decision. A decision comes from the word incision, to cut off from. So decision is not just adding on, it's cutting off from. It's cutting off from mindlessness. It's cutting off from unconsciousness. It's cutting off from going through the motion, and to experiencing the motion, to experiencing the energy in motion, to experiencing the emotion. So when you make a decision, you got to decide, yo, I'm going to cut off from what I usually do. Look, my routine is not best of serving to me, right? It's draining me every day. I'm not getting my work done. I'm getting tired. I'm getting fatigued. I'm getting slugged out, right? And I have this anxiety about me. My energies are not even still. It's like, ooh, what's going on? Every time I sit, it feels like there's bees or there's just like bees or bats. It's either fear or anxiety. It's fear, anxiety, worry. Fear, anxiety, worry. If that's the case, guess what you need? You need rituals. You need practices. You need a routine. Here's how this looks like. Here's two parts of the routine is the starting end and the closing end. The closing end gets you to a state where it helps you start off. Here's what I mean. The rising end of your routine is how you prime the day. The concept of priming your day is you want to, first thing in the morning, what your brain gets exposed to is what you're going to see all day. So if you get exposed to the news, man, you are not doing that well. Take that out. Remember I said the decision is to cut off from? Make a decision right now to stop watching the mood. No 9 o'clock news, please. Leave that sucker alone, okay? Don't watch it. Don't watch no news. So when you don't have a routine, you put yourself in jeopardy because you're not setting the day. You're letting things happen. So you rise, what are you going to do to set your mind? First of all, you have to get in touch with the emotions the night before. You have to sit with them and release them. You don't have to get in each one because it's going to bring about so much, but you can at least sense what's happening within you and then do something to get yourself out of it. Yesterday, I mentioned how between 4 and 6 is that moment where your lungs is operating at its efficiency. It's that time that nature has set out for your lungs to work. Do some breathing exercises between that hour. And I want to ask you, have you ever risen before 5 a.m.? If you have never risen before 5 a.m., let me change your life. Let me tell you the secret. The secret is those who rise early gets the worm. No, no, no. Those who rise early dig up the internal gold. Those who rise early, early bird don't get the worm. Early bird releases their internal gold. Those who rise early, man, there's a power with that, right? Because it's a divine time. Some people say like, yo, what's the concept of waking up between this specific hour? It's a divine time. And it's a time where there's the most silence, where the oxygen is at its most purest, where the birds in the trees are just like, take life. They're giving life. So between those hours, you want to rise. There's something called the 5 a.m. Club. Check that book out. Just by waking up every rising, priming your mind in certain ways, you find yourself doing the things you want to do. So normally we want to do stuff. Like we want to get the result. Like I want to lose weight. I want to stop being stressed. I want to make more money. Like we have goals that we want to achieve. And we think that if we take actions, if we get the strategies, if we learn how to do, if we learn a new money making technique, like, yo, that's going to make us more money. But sometimes it's not even that we don't know the technique. It's just that we're not even clear to apply it. So if you're not clear to apply a technique, if you didn't work on yourself enough to believe, there's a complex called imposter syndrome. What is that? Well, that's because there's some work within that has not been done. So in order to work through that, it's not a work thing. It's an internal cultivation thing. It's a self-worth thing. It's an affirming thing. It's a peace release thing. It's recognizing your value thing. It's tapping into wisdom to know that you are a powerful being. That's when you realize that, yo, I ain't no imposter. I'm a creator. I can create my life. I can choose to do something new. And if people don't understand what this is all about, I can do it anyways. Screw them, right? Who cares what they think? You have to cultivate yourself to get to that point. But most people, they just keep taking action, taking action, taking action. But they didn't focus or they didn't settle the reactions. By that I mean, some people are reacting to life, trying to act their way into success. How do you expect to act your way into the life you want, reacting to everything? And how do you react to everything? A subconscious reaction. When you're not being conscious, your subconscious takes over. In fact, most of the time, 95% of the time, your subconscious takes over. However, if we take an hour to be conscious in the rising, we are actually tapping in and telling our subconscious mind what to look for. So even though we're going to operate 95% of the subconscious mind throughout the day, we program that 5% by being conscious early, so that way it ripples throughout your day. Here's what I mean. If you know you unconsciously have certain habits, it will be very powerful to affirm away those habits. So, so what's the habit? I overindulge in whatever. Okay. You say, I'm a disciplined, focused person who's doing the best thing to achieve this holistic lifestyle or to live this holistic lifestyle. Whatever affirmation it is. And if you did that with some fire breathing, I am ambitious. Like, by the time you go through the day, your subconscious mind says, hey, let's not run this crib. Look what they said this rising. Look what they woke up with. Look at the energy they woke up with. Let's not have this person be tired. So the subconscious part of your mind is looking for a conscious program. It's looking for a conscious frontal lobe determination. Here's what I mean. You have to think about what you want in the middle of the day. What do you want to create today? Most people, they think about what they're going to do. Stop doing that. Don't just think about what you're going to do, because sometimes it's not the doing that's the problem. It's the being that's all rattled up. Energy's stirring all over the place. Your mind is in 1,000 places. You're thinking about yesterday, tomorrow, 20 years from now, and it's just too much. So while most people will get a business coach to handle their business and grow their business, they're ignoring the business of themselves. So that's why I teach how to take care of yourself so you can take care of business, because you're the first business. You're the first business and you're the chief executive officer of your life. So take charge. Why are you letting the company take charge of you? They're taking charge of your time. They can take charge of your mind. They're taking charge of everything. At least take back in your power your sense of self-direction, directing your life, making the decision. Your workplace is not going to give you the best health care. They're not going to give you the best preventive care, right? They're going to give you something that's westernized. You have to seek out the solution. You have to seek out how to build this routine. You got to seek it out yourself. How you expect them to do it, right? It's not going to happen. You going to have to do it. You going to have to make that decision. You're going to have to make that decision like, yo, you know what? I'm going to make the decision today that I'm going to start to structure a routine. I'm going to work on my rising routine. I'm going to set a time. I'm going to set several things to do. I'm not just going to fall asleep. I'm going to have certain things that I do prior to falling asleep. I'm going to have certain journaling prompts that I write so that I fall asleep and rise. Of your life, so take charge. I'm going to do certain things so when I rise, it's powerful. It's powerful. When I rise, after I rise, I'm like, let's grow. The whole day is just like amazing. It's stunning. It's beautiful. You're experiencing the day, and the day is not experiencing your anguish. You're experiencing joy, and joys are not cut off because of your face, because you cultivated a brightness about you, a prana, a energy, an aura, where people can see you and they're like, oh, there's something about this person, right? Not saying that it makes you special or anything, but saying that you cultivated your being to a point where your being itself stands out. Your spirit will illuminate through your body when you cultivate that spirit. And I'm telling you right now, the secret is simply in the routine. It's what you do in the rising. It's what you do in the evening. It's what you do throughout the day. Now, this is not specifically to tell you what to do, but it's simply to convince you to do it. The secret is in your routine. Go to my website, Ed Talks Daily, and you're going to learn how to create a rising routine. You're going to learn how to create a nighttime routine. Include turning off your Wi-Fi box so the wave is not intruding. Includes multiple things. So go tap into that, right? Because this podcast is simply about this. If you want to transform your life, find a way to rise and prime. If you want to enjoy the day, set scheduled breaks. Detox from the tech. Have your tea, right? Go outside, do some breathing exercises. Listen, I can teach you the breathing exercise. I can teach you the Qigong. But they're all over the place. They're all around you. You open your IG, there's a breathing exercise. It's right there. You just have to tap in. And let's say you've always struggled with a rising ritual, a rising ritual, or you always struggled with a nighttime ritual. What if you did that with a tribe? What if you did it with me? What if you let somebody who has at least 4 to 5 years in waking up that early wake up with you? And what if I taught you some of the things that I did, like the breathing, like the movement, like the journaling, like the detox? What if I taught you these things in the rising, every rising 7 a.m. Eastern? Would you tap into that? Would you cut through? Would you at least try it on a Monday or a Friday? Guess what? I just finished doing that. I feel amazing. My day's only going to go amazing. I'm able to give to you and be here because I feel amazing. I cultivated that being. So if you want to do the same thing, just join me. Just check it out. So every rising, a tribe of wellness seekers and entrepreneurs, we link up to prime our days with mindful movement, personal development, affirmations or incantations. We even dance and move. There's a subject that we learn about, that we talk about, that we discuss. We share what's going on, what are our goals. We hold each other accountable because we are a tribe. And that's what we've been doing every day since December. So I invite you to tap in on Monday or Friday. Simply, it's free. All you got to do is click the link in my bio. You're going to see it says Rise and Prime. You could attend the Rise and Prime session. It's so simple, y'all. But after this message, you may have been convinced that, man, I ought to start changing my rising routine. Or I should change my nighttime ritual. But if you don't take the action, then guess what you're doing? You're not changing nothing. If you don't take the action to say, yo, let me check out this website. Oh, go here, let me check out what he got to offer. Yo, I like what he's saying. I stick through this whole thing. At least I can tap in to see how to do it. At least I can tap in to see the structure of it. And then I can take that and do it on my own. Yes, you can. Of course you can. But you got to tap in. So this is my message, and I'm sticking to it, y'all. The secret is in your rising routine. And if you want to get more of that, check out edtalksdaily.com. So let me ask you, comment in the chat, what struggles are you having in waking up early and going to sleep? What troubles are you having, and how can you overcome these, right? So if there's any questions, concerns, comment, tapping in. And if you're listening to the podcast audio version, send me a message. Just go to edtalksdaily.com and you can send a message. Okay, y'all. So that is it. That's my message, and I'm sticking to it. Remember, you have the unlimited power in you to achieve and create the person that you want to be the person that you are, to release the person that's been bonded by the past. But first, you got to believe that it's possible for you. Then you got to take forth the steps, the actions, the daily routines, the rituals that's going to transform your life, right? That includes breathing. It includes mindful movement. It includes affirmation. It includes journaling. It includes sitting in silence, prayer, meditation, dancing, singing, drinking your tea. It's the simple things in life that matter. So subscribe to the podcast and tap in. And I'm going to tap out. Peace.